Okay, so hello everyone. So today I'm starting my data structures and algorithm uh, videos for everyone. So that I can share the way how we can interpret a particular problem statement and how we can write solution of a particular problem. I'll also try to explain my way of looking into the problem statement and then understanding the input and output for that particular problem. And also try to understand I'll also try to explain you guys that how the time complexity and space complexity matters. So I would like to start with arrays because this is a very common data structure, and there are many questions which are asked on arrays. There are many tricky questions. So I really want to start with array. So I'll share many problem statements one by one. So the very first problem statement which I wanted to start to some disk problem. So we can read the problem statement together. So this is a two sum problem. What problem says? Given an array of integers nums. So for example, we have an array of nums here and an integer target which is equal to 9. Return indices of the two numbers such that they add up to target. So what does it mean? That we need to return the indices of those two numbers, which when we add them, meeting exactly the sum should exactly be equal to the target over here 9. So now if we see the output right here, so it says 0 comma 1. Why? Because at index 0 this is 2 and at index 1 this is 7. If you just add these two numbers, so you get 9. So it means we can return 0 comma 9. Similarly, for this particular example, we have 3 to 4 and the target is 6. So you see here index 1 which has element 2 and then index 4 which I mean 3 2 which has element 4. So 2 plus 4 is 6. So that's why 1 and 2 indices are returned. So that's how and then we have example 3 also, where we are targeting 6. So there are only two elements, so we say 0 and 1. 3 plus 3 equals 6. It's very easy for us to understand. So let me copy this and use my IntelliJ here. So I'll just create a class. Let's say it is to sum, and then I just add this particular class. I would like to add this on the top, like the description, in very detailed way, so that we understand what we are doing. So this is the problem statement with some example input and output. Okay, so let's start the solution for this particular problem. Uh, now, before I start the writing any solution for this particular problem, I would like to highlight here we need to understand the problem first, and we need to understand what data structures are important here to use. So, because we are thinking about in order to find, I mean, we are trying to maintain sum of two numbers, okay, and we will check the whole array, and then whenever we get two numbers which are matching to the target, we say this is our answer. I mean, those indices will store in a separate array, and that will be the the answer. So we definitely need to have a data structure which should store this sum, right? Every time when we create a sum, it should be able to store a sum. So I think there are many data structures, but when it comes to storage, I think we are targeting here storing key and then value. So hash map is the one which we can use here to store numbers from nums array as keys and their respective indices as values, right? So that way we will always have something in our hash map which will have number as a key, I mean an element from the array as a key, and then corresponding index would be the value for that particular hash map bucket. And then what we have to do, like every time when we store an element into the hash map, we will also have to check that uh, the sum that we are targeting. So the current element that we are, having in the array where the index is on, is and plus the element that exists into the map, does it contain the total sum or not? So let me, explain right away, start writing the code, and then it will be easy for you to understand. So uh, every time I just start with the main method so that I know what I'm doing. So I need to start with this. I'll copy this array and this target 9 from the input. So I just copied it here. This is an integer array. So I'll do uh, integer array. And because this is an array, I just change a little bit so that this is clear. And then this is target, which we are targeting. So now we have the, input ready. And now what is the output? So this is output. And in output, we are expecting again an array, right? Because this says that we need to return an array here, array of indices. Okay. So I would say, let's say my result is the output. And then let's say I make a method which is called toSum, and then in that toSums I'll pass nums, and I'll pass the target, right? And yeah, so that's pretty much on a high level. We can definitely, do a sys out um, of output. So we can say this is my first, and then we can also add here my second, because there will be only two element, so 0 1, and that's it. So this is input, and this is output, right? So now we know that this is an array and we have to, uh, print the output like this. So let's design this particular method. So I'll just create this method like this. It's easy if you use IntelliJ features to save time. So I already told you that we need to have a data structure. So let me quickly create a map. So map should create, it should have an integer as a key, and then other integer, which should be the indices, okay, as value. And then I create a map, and then let's say new hash map. And then, yeah, so it should be fine. And let me import this map class. So that is my data structure. So this data structure, what? This store, number and its index. Okay. And now what we have to do, we have to iterate, right? Iterate on array. So I just iterate on array. So let me do for uh int I equals to 0, I less than nums dot length, and then I plus plus. So this is my array where I'm iterating for every single uh, element. And now the important part comes here. So the moment I'm iterating an array, right? Let's say the first is the index 0 at 2 and then 7. So every time what I will do, I'll do two things. One, I'll try to find the complement. So what does it mean? Meaning, see, uh, let me first do this, which is very important to understand, that every time when we get an element from an array, so I will store this into my map, right? So let me store it map dot put. Okay. So as I said, like I will store this every time I get an element into map and its index, right? So I is the index and nums I is the element. So every time I'm doing this, why? Because I'm storing this store number at its index, right? So this is here I store number and instance every time. And then what I have to do, because I'm storing this number every time, so I just need to check my current element wherever my index is into the array and the number which is stored in the map. Like if the difference between these two is 0, what does it means? It means that we found the uh, we found the number, right? We found the exact match. Or in other way, what we can say, let's say um, we have a target 9, okay, in this case. So if we say that complement, I mean the current index, okay, I mean the target minus the current element into the array, if that complement is found into the map, what does it means? It simply means that we are getting the target, right? Because let's say okay, let me write it straight away. Let's say we call it complement and we say target minus nums of I, right? So this complement says 9 minus the element which is in the array. So let's say it start 9 minus 2, okay, it will be 7. So and let's say this 7 exists somewhere into in our map. So that signifies that we get the total target 9, because maybe in previous iterations or there was an element which was saved into the map, right? So in simple, it's a simple math. A plus B equals to 9, right? So we are trying to play with A and B. So what we are doing, we are storing, we can choose anyone, A or B. Okay, these are the elements. We store A or B into the map. And then whenever we get the other element, let's say we're storing A in the map, we get B. So we will do like 9 minus B is equal to A, which is stored in the map. If it matches, it simply means that we found the total target, right? So what I'll do, I'll do if map dot contains, right, key complement. If that is the case, I say that I found. Okay, I'll just return new int, and then I just simply return map dot get. So I mean, we need to return two indexes. So this is the element which already exists, right? So get complement, this is the first, and then I return second element index, which is I, and that's probably all. Uh, and then that should be okay. And in case it just come out of the loop, does not return anything, it simply signifies that we do not have any matching uh, indices. We can just say illegal argument exception, and we can just say no to some found. Yeah. So that's pretty much all. Let me run this problem solution and then see how it behaves, right? So you see here 0 comma 1, okay? I think which was the expectation here because we chose this. Let me replace this 3 to 4. Okay. 3 to 4, and let me change it to target 6 and run the solution again. So it says 1 comma 2, which is again matching. Let me change it to 3 comma 3, and the target, let's say 6. The target is same. Run it, and it says 0 comma 0, 0 comma 1. So which simply says that this particular solution worked absolutely fine. Uh, now, when it comes to the complexity, right? Time complexity and space complexity of this particular solution. So let me add here time complexity. So because you see here, there's one loop, all right? So this simplifies that we are only iterating on n elements in an iteration. So this will be O of n, O of n. And similarly, because we are taking, storing those elements into map, and if there are, let's say n elements into the array, so it will be same space complexity will be O of n. Yeah, so that's pretty much all for this particular problem. I hope you understand this. It's very, easy to, understand this particular problem. We just need to remember basic maths, right? So this particular calculation is, it's simply like A plus B equals 9, right? Either A or B, you can just assume it, you are storing one into the map, and the other one is something which you are trying to find out, I mean, with the help of target, right? So if 9 minus b is your, complement, and a is already in the map, so 9 minus b, if it found into the map, it means you found a. It means this condition is matching. So let us try this to some problem onto the lead code. So I'll quickly go to IntelliJ, copy this solution, copy. All right, place this here and try to run this. Okay, and I think I need to import some of the libraries because I just used them. And now let me run this. So it is accepted, and I submit this. Okay, so you see here, the problem is accepted and all the tests are passed. So runtime 98.78 percentile, memory is this. Yeah, so thank you very much. We will see in the next video.